This is part 2, you guys. Make sure, and I mean make sure you check out part 1 with this amazing content and information. The link is going to be in the description below, or just hit the thumbnail. So you don't buy any of these high-end vehicles.
We have a total value over $30 million.
What's the average cost for chartering, let's say, helicopter, plane, yacht?
I'll say about 50 charters a month.
What's the most bizarre experience that you've had in UNIQ LA?
We don't have any expenses besides advertising and our employees that worked to sell it.
How did you get word out the first day of business when you were officially a company?
Well, the very first day actually was I didn't even have anything yet, so I just had my boat as my pleasure, you know. And one of my friends, he was working at Uber SUV, which is like a luxurious type of Ubers. So he had a wealthy clients as well, and he was driving some Arabic people from Four Seasons, Beverly Hills, somewhere else, and they were complaining him like they couldn't find a boat to go to Catalina Island, you know, because they asked at the hotel and they told them like it's gonna be $12,000 or something like that, you know. So and they asked him, do you know anybody who have a boat? So he called me. And I quoted them 5,000. They said, "Okay, it's so cheap, let's do it." He took them out, and I was like, "Man, maybe I should, you know, think about doing a charter business then."
Interesting. So that's how you got.
Yeah, but by the time I got all the licenses and website, the first thing probably was buying advertising because nobody knows me yet, you know. So paid advertising is the way.
Online.
Online.
Okay. So you didn't do anything print. I'd imagine print's dead.
Yeah,
in advertising.
Exactly.
Okay.
Especially now with all the coronavirus.
Right. Well, let's talk about how many charters a week on average do you do, and how does that translate to how many customers, I guess?
So right now we have, I will say, from 10 to 15 charters a week, but we have 12 boats now.
12
boats, yeah.
Do you own all of them?
No, well, I own 2 boats, and other ones we manage.
Okay.
Some of them exclusively. So out of 12 boats, more or less about 10, 15 a week, so I'll say about 50 charters a month.
Wow. Is that a pretty busy month? Is that a pretty good month?
It's a good month, yeah.
Are any of your fleets that you have now, maybe vehicles mainly, on Turo? This is one of our questions. We want to know, have you used Turo before? How did that work, or how's that going?
Yes. I worked with them for a couple of years. First year, my original idea was to get 10 cars and put them all on Turo. You know, so one of my friends, he have a management company. So he managed all the cars, he do all the car washes, meeting guests, and this and that, and he charges 20% from gross, right, for it. So I asked him a question like, what are the numbers I could get net from it after the payment and after everything? He said, oh, on average, like $500 to $1,000 a month. And so I thought, great, you know, if I get 10 cars, here is 5,000 to 10,000 a month, right? So I got, luckily, I got not 10 cars, I got only 4. So I was upset.
Luckily.
Yeah, I was upset in first because I thought my income is gonna get lower, right? But in a real situation, it was either you breaking even or you paying out of your pocket for payments. And yeah, so 4 cars also it hurts not as much as 10, but still, you know, and especially after he takes all the percentage and everything, it's just not worth it. So it was a year. I was still hoping for the best, and it didn't work out. I get all my cars back, and I started doing Turo myself. So without these percentages to somebody else, it's a little bit better, but it's still not enough because it's too many cars on Turo right now.
Okay.
So some people have 70 or 100 cars, which they have to pay, you know, payments to. And if it's not renting, they start doing the price of a car lower until it's so low, it's not profitable for anyone, neither for him or the competitors. I think right now it's too much energy and time you spend for the profit that is not worth your time. Yeah, you better focus. Your time is the most important thing in life, you know, so you have to make sure you're spending your time on the most profitable things you could possibly do.
Dmitry, what's the average cost for chartering, let's say, helicopter, plane, yacht? Break it down for all 3 categories.
So for the yachts, It really depends. We have, like I said, 12 different yachts, starting from $300 an hour and up to $3,500 an hour. But the most popular ones, I will say, in a range between 60 and 70 feet. Those usually cost about 30 to $3,500 for 4-hour charters. Plus gratuity is a 10% minimum, which
Gotcha.
goes straight to the crew. For the helicopters, it's normally from 3 to 7,000 for a few-hour charter, which usually includes 2 hours of charter time and 4 hours of waiting time at your location.
I see. Okay.
You can get more waiting time for additional cost. And for the planes, we charter 3 different type of planes. I will say it's a light jet, a mid-size jet, and a heavy jet, which are different sizes and different capacity. But the most popular will be light jet, and those goes in average for 8,500, with also 2 hours of flying time and 4 hours of waiting time included. And it's up to 7 people,
Up to
which is
7.
perfect. Yes,
Okay.
if you split it, it's not that expensive.
Let's talk about maintenance too. I mean, I would imagine things break down all the time. You
Yeah.
got to take care of it.
Yeah.
Is it either a weekly, monthly, yearly cost, and what does that look like?
You never know.
Right.
Maintenance, you never know. But the good thing that since we have 12 boats and if some boat broke down unexpectedly, we usually have another boat to replace it with. And we might even upgrade the client for a better boat if it happens last minute.
So on average, though, if you take the last year, can you think of a figure that went to maintenance and maintaining of the fleet? Could be a rough number.
Hard
to come up
to
with.
say. Yeah, it depends on each year.
Okay. And what's the total value of the fleet that you have?
Just in Los Angeles, we have a total value over $30 million.
Okay.
Plus,
Wow.
we have some boats in Newport Beach, in San Diego, and in Miami.
What are those valued at? People love to hear numbers, and that's
I
motivating as well.
will say about $3 million in Newport Beach, $500,000 in San Diego. We only have one boat over there. And Miami is another about $6 million.
Okay. So you don't buy any of these high-end vehicles?
No, we don't. We prefer to manage, and so we only have a net profit. We don't have any expenses besides advertising and our employees that worked to sell it and customer service, right? Those jets cost a lot. It's millions of dollars, which is unnecessary, I will say, in this point. So we focus on growing the website, growing the platform, and bringing more people for those who maybe doesn't know how to advertise well, because many of these businesses, they owned by an, let's say, older generation who are good in what they do, but maybe not as good as website developers or the platforms, because it's
not their thing.
Exactly. So we focus on that, and to find the companies to work with, we normally find a company that been in business for at least 20 years. Like the company that we work with for private jets, they've been over 50 years in business. So we know they know how to do it well, and they're the best in it.
Got it. What's the most bizarre experience that you've had in UNIQ LA? Maybe it was a charter that just went crazy, or a client that was really out wild. Anything.
Yeah, we had fights on the boats that we had to stop, moor the boat, get them out of the boat.
Oh, wow.
And crazy people, a lot of frauds that we have to deal with. When we realize somebody booking with a fake credit card or fake ID, and when we see them on the boat, we have to throw them out immediately.
Right.
Yeah, all of this. When I was renting cars, people stole the car with a fake credit card and fake ID, so I had to track them with the towing service. We were following them all over the city trying to get a car back. A lot of craziness, actually, but all the problems are given you in life, only the ones that you can solve. So don't be afraid, just go for it.
Go for it. Awesome. What's your strategy plan for scaling UNIQ LA further?
I'm planning to start new cities. We already started. So here in LA, yacht rental is seasonal. So the season goes, let's say, from March till November. We already started working in Miami. We have a few boats over there. Then as soon as I sell my boat, I'm going to buy a bigger one in Miami and leave it there for a winter. At the same time, we started another in other harbors in Los Angeles, which is Newport Beach. We started in San Diego, and after basically we take over United States, I'm gonna go and start it in the biggest cities all over the world, such as Monaco, Dubai, and other places.
That's awesome. You're in a beautiful area. What are some of the top choice for cruises when it comes to chartering a boat?
Yeah, well, I will say the most popular will be 4-hour Malibu cruise. So it takes us from Marina del Rey about 2 hours to get to Malibu and 2 hours back.
Mm-hmm.
We can do 6-hour Paradise Cove, so it's a beautiful cove. It's perfect for sunset cruises.
Nice.
We can anchor over there, and people have time to enjoy themselves. Especially some of the larger boats, they come with jet skis, so they have time, to play around. Our larger vessels have jacuzzi on the top.
Wow.
And we can do a lot of things. We can hire a chef. They can serve you appetizers and food, the entire day.
Mm-hmm.
While somebody on a jet ski and other people can be in jacuzzi eating lobsters, and then they switch, So it's a lot of things. So our larger vessel have a helipad, so we can hire the helicopter separate, so you can arrive to your guests on a helicopter. So
Wow.
it's such a unique experience.
Living life. You mentioned services too. I'd love to ask what services you do offer as part of your charter.
Yeah, so for the smaller boats, we just do the boat rental, and we recommend people to bring their own food and drinks to make it simple for them. For larger vessels, especially the ones have a full-size kitchen, we can recommend a private chef.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sounds like nothing is off the table.
Exactly.
Especially for the bigger vessels.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this has been great. I think you've got an amazing story of how you started and where you are today, Dmitry. So thank you so much from both myself, the UpFlip team, and then our audience for sharing everything you've shared.
Yeah, thank you guys for coming.
My pleasure. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If Dmitry can do it, so can you. Take a second to like this video, subscribe to our channel for more amazing content. That way you don't miss any of it. And thank you so much for watching.